Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Philosophy of Fitness podcast, episode number 92. I've had so many tech issues, even just trying to get this set up. I had so many debacles. Let me explain it to you. So first off, I was listening to myself in the headphones, and I was like, why am I picking up every single outside noise? Well, I forgot to plug in my microphone. So that happened, and I've had tech issues just like trying to get this started. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, welcome back to the Philosophy of Fitness podcast. Today, we're going to be diving down the rabbit hole of AI, artificial intelligence. Has it gone too far? Is it dystopian? Is it going to take over the world? I don't know, but I want to explore that with you guys today. I really haven't prepared anything for this. I kind of just want to sit down and chat about it. And I also feel like it's been a really long time since I've just sat down without a guest and really just sort of shared my thoughts on things. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So grab a snack, grab some water, grab some LaCroix, whatever you want. We're going to go ahead and get into it. But before we do, I'll give you guys some life updates. Things are going great. Life is good, except today I made a huge mistake and I'm just now feeling okay from it. So this morning I went out to breakfast and I had coffee at the house before I went to breakfast, which I always have coffee in the morning before I leave. I love my morning routine. I have coffee. I read my book. I just love my morning time. So I had my cup of coffee and I was so excited to go to this breakfast place. I went with my mom and they have these breakfast bowls that are so good. So they have eggs, bacon, cheese, sauteed peppers and onions, and they have these really good breakfast potatoes. And I'm so picky about my breakfast potatoes. I will try to insert a picture of the exact kind of potato they are. I forget if they're called home fries or just breakfast potatoes, but they're those crispy little squares, those potato squares. They're crispy, they're seasoned well. Oh my God, they're so good. And I was so excited to get this breakfast. And I go to the place and what do they say? They're like, oh, our fryer is down. We're so sorry. I was so disappointed. Also because I was so freaking hungry. I don't know what it is. It seems like anytime I'm super excited for a meal or something, it's just either not available or something's wrong with it. So I was super disappointed, but I digress. It's part of the story. So I got a huge iced cold brew coffee with my breakfast. And I forgot that I am extremely sensitive to cold brew, extremely sensitive. I remember the last time that I had a cold brew of that size was in college. And after I had it, I ran 5 miles without stopping, which was rarity for me. And then I went to the dining hall and I was literally shaking, I was tweaking. And the lady checking me out was like, are you okay? And I was like, I guess, I don't know. I'm so caffeine sensitive with specifically cold brew. And I should have realized that about myself because it didn't hit me right away. And I chugged the entire thing. And like I said, I had already had coffee in the morning too. And I ran some errands and it was as soon as I got home, I was like, oh no, my heart was racing. My hands were shaking and I didn't really know what to do because I didn't have time to work out today. So I was just sitting in this really horrible, anxious energy for a really long time. And it sucks, but I got rid of it. I ate, I had water, and I'm feeling normal now. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I thought it was a funny story to share with you guys. But anyway, we are going to be diving into AI today. Now, I have some pretty strong opinions on it. It scares me. I'm not going to lie. It actually really scares me. And I've played around with chatgpt. I've played around with the AI generated images. I think the app is called Remini or something. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But I'll put up some pictures that I've done through the AI app. And it just freaks me out. Something about it doesn't sit right with me. It very much gives Black Mirror vibes. I think that there's a lot of things that Black Mirror has covered that sort of come true, or they almost are kind of a little bit too close for comfort in terms of the reality that they're kind of mirroring. No pun intended there. But I've just been thinking about it more, and it seems like it's progressing so rapidly, even from where it was a year ago. And there's something that I want to show you guys. And that is something that I've seen circulating. Like I said, I saw this circulating on TikTok and Instagram, and I figured I wanted to go ahead and share it with you. So I will kind of like play this so you guys can see this as well, and we'll kind of get into it.
I just want to introduce myself. I am here to chat whenever you want. Message me for any advice. I am ready to talk, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Now, what I just showed you is not actually Kendall Jenner. So this is the newest craze that I want to talk about, especially with AI. There's these chains of celebrity accounts that are going around where celebrities have basically gone into a studio for a few hours, had their likeness and basically their consciousness copied to an AI chatbot. So if I were to go ahead and open this, like I said, is not actually Kendall Jenner. They've copied everything from her and put it into this account. And if you message her, you can talk to this figure, which is called Billy. And it says in the account that it's AI managed by Meta. The other interesting thing is if you look at the photos, you can see that the image has a timestamp, or not a timestamp, but a little code on it to show that it was created with AI, which is really frightening. So I'm going to go ahead and send it a message and let's see what happens. So this is actually so creepy. There's a video of her. Okay, hey, I'm Billy, your older sister and confidant. Got a problem? I've got your back. I'm going to tell her I drank too much coffee today. Let's see what she says. This is so silly, guys, but I just want to like show you. This is so crazy. Like, she goes, LOL, oh no, too much caffeine can be brutal. What's going on? Did you accidentally pour an extra cup or down an entire part? Either way, let's get you chilled out and back to normal. This is so dystopian. Ew, I really don't like this. And beyond that, if you go to her following list, there's a bunch of other fake celebrities here. Let's see. Like this is Brew. Brew managed by AI. So it's called Game on Brew. It says sports obsessed, trash talker, step into the brew zone and prepare to have your sports takes flame roasted. So this is obviously Tom Brady, right? I hope I'm right. That's Tom Brady. I'm so not a sports person, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is. Let's send him a message. Let's say, I hate the Patriots. Okay. Hey, it's Brew, your opinionated sports debater. What's your favorite team? How are they looking? Okay, he says, you're not alone, but let's be real, they're a dynasty. You got to respect the champs. And this is so crazy because it has a video of the person as you're talking to them. Is anyone else as freaked out about this as I am? Because I can't get over this. And again, they have lots of these AI generated images on the account. This one has, this is the video of him talking.
I'm Brew, and if you're looking to talk sports, you come to the right place. Me? I'm Brew.
So freaky. So freaky. And I was like, when I saw this, I was like, I have to do a podcast and I have to talk about this. Because from what I've researched, this technology is going to be available to the general public within the next year or so, which really begs the question, especially with so many of us existing online now, how will you even know if you're talking to a real person anymore? Granted, they're being transparent with the fact that the account is managed by Meta. They're being transparent with the fact that images are being created with AI. But at what point, when that technology becomes accessible to the public, do we blur the lines between what's real and what's been artificially created? That's a scary thought, and I don't like it. And it's a double-edged sword because obviously AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, do you accept the change that's coming or do you kind of fight against it? And, you know, a lot of what's going on right now in terms of the strikes in Hollywood, you know, a lot of people are protesting. Like there's the human essence, right? If you want to get philosophical about it, I don't really think that a machine or technology could ever fully replicate the intricacies of the human mind. And if it gets to that point, I think we're doomed. I think we're absolutely doomed. But I asked some of you guys on Instagram what you thought about all of this AI stuff. So I want to share what some of you guys said. Somebody says, it'll get tough for sure to keep up with AI, but never underestimate human intel. Okay, so that's exactly what I just said. I don't think it's ever going to be, well, I can't say that for certain because I really don't know, but an AI like what's that movie with Will Smith, I, Robot? I don't think it's ever going to fully be like an I, Robot situation, but who knows? I'm really not sure. I'm going to share some other things that some of you guys have said. And also in the future, guys, follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I will post some of these prompts on my stories and like do research for podcast episodes and just try to field people's opinions. So if you want to participate or have your answer featured in a future episode, anonymously, of course, or not, if you want me to share your name, go ahead and follow me on Instagram because I do a lot of podcast updates over there. Anyways, let's get back into some other things people have said. Somebody said terrifying. Someone else said awful, the downfall of society. Somebody else said, I don't like it, LOL. I've been called a quote boomer, but I've seen too many movies to see where it's going. Totally. It goes back to the idea of like predictive programming in media. It's like Black Mirror. Is it showing us what's actually going to be happening now? Really makes you wonder. Somebody else says, depends on how one uses it. I benefited from using ChatGPT and completing tasks faster. Now, I want to talk about that one a little bit. So I myself have played around with ChatGPT, and I think it's absolutely amazing. I think it's incredible what you can ask it, what it is able to do for you, how specific you can get with the prompts that you give it in terms of what to tell you and how to kind of help you organize your thoughts. It's truly incredible. If you guys haven't tried I cannot speak. If you haven't tried ChatGPT, go ahead and try it. If you can plug in anything that you want. I've tried it for some of my personal stuff. I've tried it with, content creation ideas. I've asked it to create me a content calendar for a month's worth of Instagram posts. And lo and behold, it'll generate a complete list of ideas down to hashtags, titles of videos, everything. And it's a double-edged sword. I have a love-hate relationship with it. And I don't really know what to compare it to, but I have this like sense in my mind of something to compare it to. I guess maybe a Black Mirror episode, but it's like you're granted this ability, but at what cost? What is being sacrificed in order to gain access to that ability? So for me, I think a lot of our thoughts and our creativity and our ability to think for ourselves, our ability to research, to create, to analyze is being taken away because AI has now replaced, it's doing the thinking for us. It's doing the hard part for us, which at first seems awesome, right? It seems so cool. Wow, I have all of this stuff. It's helping me do my job at work faster. It's helping me create content faster. It's helping me, if you want to make a breakup text to somebody or you want to write a sympathy card, you can put it in and it can make a prompt for you. You'd think, wow, it's making my life so much easier. But is it really making it easier? I just feel like there's this inherent moral issue that I have with it where if it just becomes the norm, authenticity is going to be stripped away completely. I don't think that people are going to be having such free thinking and an ability to authentically and unapologetically express themselves if they are always relying on AI to do that work for them, right? Like if you're a kid in school and you're relying on AI to help you write an essay for whatever topic or, trying to make something creative, it's like it takes that ability away from you. And the more dependent on it you become, the less in tune with yourself you become because you don't have to do that work anymore. And I get it. It has helped in some ways, but I think it has certainly done more harm than it has good. And I'm talking about ChatGPT here in terms of this umbrella of AI, right? It's like, yeah, I get you can get excited about it, but at what point are you excited about it? But then when do you start to get nervous about it? Because there will probably become a point when AI will replace many people's jobs. Whether it's automation through machines or it's just artificial intelligence, we will reach that point. And I think that's where a lot of people have an issue with where AI is heading because companies will want to cut corners when they realize that a machine can do the job of a human for them at no cost, right? Or little to no cost if they're paying for like a more advanced AI algorithm or consciousness. I use the word consciousness loosely, but it's like, at what point is it too much? And it's scary because it almost feels like we are collectively as a society strapped into a roller coaster going full speed ahead, and there's nothing any of us can do to stop it. There's no emergency switch. There's no emergency off button. We're all just kind of strapped in, waiting to see what happens. And I think there's even a lot of people, I should have probably researched this before, but there's a lot of people who have been involved in creating these technologies or have used them, and they're actually pushing for them to be halted. They don't want people to be using them anymore, or like at a more extreme level than they already are right now. So that element of AI is very scary to me, especially as a creative person. I think, the thought of that replacing a human being's creativity and self-expression and knowledge and authenticity is disheartening, to say the least. It's extremely disheartening and it's alarming. And I would hope to God that, collectively these big corporations and anybody that's involved in a creative job wouldn't feel like they are going to be shunned out by a robot, basically. So that part of it is scary. The other part of it that's really scary is the AI generated photos. Granted, they're not exactly like good quality, but they're definitely a little creepy. So there's one thing that I want to touch on here. Hold on. Got to get a sip of water. There is one thing that I want to touch on with this. And I haven't seen anyone else say this. I made a TikTok video about this a really long time ago, but the connection between AI and lucid dreaming. Now, stay with me here because this is probably going to sound crazy, but anyone out there who has had a lucid dream should be able to understand what I'm talking about. So the thing that signals to me when I am in a dream state is inconsistencies or things that are just quite not right with how they would be in the waking world. So for example, for me, the biggest thing is letters and things that are written out. So if I'm in a lucid dream and I pick up a newspaper or a cereal box or look at a street sign, it will not be letters that make any sense. It will not be anything that's, tangible to the human mind. It'll just be gibberish. It'll be like wingdings or just like random numbers and letters and things that just don't make sense. Or if you look at somebody's hand, for example, they'll have an extra finger. They'll have a couple too many teeth. Well, what else isn't quite right with how our waking reality is? You guessed it, AI generated images. I'm going to put some images up here so you guys can see. Again, if you don't follow me on YouTube and you want to see the visual parts of this podcast, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll leave a link in the show notes, but check it out. That is exactly how writing looks to me in a lucid dream. It's just not quite right. So my theory is, and I don't even know if this is even making sense or whatnot, but I've just thought about this and I'm like, are we in a simulation? And when we're in a lucid dream, we are connecting to the hive mind of the AI consciousness that's ruling the world? Or when we're lucid dreaming or in that dream state, are we unplugging from the matrix or unplugging from the simulation and having some sort of like reset? I just feel like there is some sort of connection between lucid dreaming and AI, and it just sends me down this like mental rabbit hole spiral of like, what is going on? Literally, what the hell is going on? Because I don't believe in coincidences, and I just don't think that it's a coincidence that AI generated images look so much like what a lucid dream looks like. And if anyone out there has had a lucid dream and you've had a similar experience to that, please drop me a comment. If you've had a lucid dream and you've had a different experience, I don't care. I would love to hear about anybody else out there that's a lucid dreamer. Like, what signals to you that you're in control of the dream? Or what signals to you that you're like not in the real world, right? It's very trippy and it's like super weird to think about. So, yeah, I don't know. That part really freaks me out. And the more that I've seen those images of AI commercials, AI photos of people, the more I'm like, this is too similar to what a dream state looks like. Or is the technology just not caught up enough to mimic completely the waking reality that we have? Is it still kind of half asleep? Like we're in a sleep dream state and it's just not quite fully rendered yet. That could also be a possibility, at which point that begs the question, if and when, not even a matter of if, but when AI becomes indistinguishable from real life. Could we be in an AI matrix universe right now? Could we all just be AI renderings, right? I'm telling you, this is the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night, but I just am freaked out by it. I don't think there's any part of all of this AI stuff that I really agree with. I think it's kind of like, what's the word? I guess it's kind of like if you had a caramel apple, but it was actually an onion on the inside. Because the outside looks so sweet and it looks great and you're like, wow, this is so cool. But then you take a bite into it and you realize that it's actually an onion and you're like, ooh, I don't like this. I think that's what these technologies are. I think at face value, if you were to first hear about them, or if you were to tell this to somebody like 20, 30 years ago of like, wow, we could automate all of this stuff. We could be writing emails using AI. We could be writing essays using AI, doing anything that kind of helps automate our job, makes our lives easier. At face value, you're like, wow, that's amazing. That's so cool. But the more you get into it, the more you actually think about it, and the more you see the potential of where it could go, the more utterly terrifying it becomes. And it's like when you take a bite into that fake caramel onion, you're like, ooh, no, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to hop on here. I miss doing these solo episodes a lot. I'm sorry, guys. I really do want to try to get back into doing more of these solo episodes because they are so much fun. And yeah, I've just been really busy lately, but all good things going on. And yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts on AI and ChatGPT and fake images that are rendered by AI and all the dystopian potentiality of where all of that could go. So I certainly hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please drop a comment over on YouTube. It would mean the absolute world to me if you subscribe. It really helps. If you leave a review for the podcast as well on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, that helps me out tremendously. That kind of helps bump me up in the algorithm of those platforms. So if you are enjoying this, it would mean the absolute world to me to have you leave a review. And yeah, that is all, my friends. I am sending you so much health, wealth, success, happiness, abundance, peace, love, joy, and think for yourself. Don't fall into the AI trap. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.